I'm going to be reading The Tale of Jemima Puddle-Duck by Beatrix Potter, based on all of the animals that lived at Hilltop Farm were happy, except for Jemima Puddle-Duck. Jemima Puddle-Duck was annoyed because the farmer's wife would not let her hatch her own eggs. She would take them away and give them to a mother hen to hatch. And what a funny sight it is to see a brood of ducklings with a hen. Ducks are poor sitters, thought the farmer's wife. Hens are much better sitters. They are trustworthy, reliable, and they know how to sit still for weeks. Jemima Puddle-Duck's sister-in-law, Miss Rebecca Puddle-Duck, was perfectly willing to leave her hatching to someone else. I haven't the patience to sit on a nest for 28 days, and neither do you, Jemima. You'd let them go cold, and you know it. I want to hatch my own eggs, quacked Jemima Puddle-Duck. I don't want my eggs to be hatched by a hen. Jemima tried to hide her eggs, but she hid them in the rhubarb. She hid them behind the barn and by the pond. Poor Jemima. No matter where she hid those eggs, the farmer's wife always found them and carried them off. I must leave this egg-snatching place, quacked Jemima. Jemima quickly decided she had to make her nest away from Hilltop Farm. One fine spring afternoon, she put on her red shawl and her bonnet and set off along the road, then went over the hill. She gazed at all the wonderful sights along the road, for she had never been away from the farm before. She liked her new freedom. When she reached the top of the hill, she saw the woods in the distance. That looks like a fine place, she told herself. Jemima Puddle-Duck was not in the habit of flying. She ran downhill, flapping her shawl, and jumped into the air. She flew beautifully. Jemima Puddle-Duck spotted a clearing in the middle of the woods. She landed there with a thunk and began to waddle about in search of a dry nesting place. That log by the foxglove flowers seems quite nice, she said to no one in particular. Miss Puddle-Duck was startled to find seated upon the log an elegantly dressed gentleman reading a newspaper. Jemima approached him. "Quack," she said curiously. "Quack." The gentleman raised his eyes above his newspaper and looked at Jemima. "Madame, have you lost your way?" he asked. Jemima Puddle-Duck thought him a very handsome gentleman with good manners. "No," Jemima replied. "I have not lost my way. I am looking for a place where I can hatch my eggs." "Oh," said the gentleman. "I am angry with the farmer's wife because she takes my eggs away and gives them to a hen to sit on," Jemima explained. "I should like to mess that hen and teach her to mind her own business," said the gentleman. "You would?" asked Jemima. "Ah, yes, indeed," said the gentleman. "Let me offer my help, poor duck. I have some feathers in my shed. You can make a nest and sit there as long as you'd like." He led the way to an old shed. His long bushy tail swept the ground as he walked. "This should suit your needs," said the gentleman, as he showed Jemima the inside of the shed. The shed was full of feathers. Jemima Puddle-Duck was rather surprised to find so many feathers, but it was comfortable and soft, and she made a nest without any trouble at all. When she came out, the gentleman was still standing there, holding his newspaper. "I must return to the Hilltop Farm for the night," Miss Puddle-Duck said. "It is a shame that you have to leave, Miss Puddle-Duck," the gentleman said. I will take great care of your nest until you return. I love eggs and ducklings and will be proud to have a fine nestful in my shed. Jemima Puddle-Duck visited the shed every afternoon. She laid 9 eggs in the nest. They were white and very large. The gentleman admired them immensely. He even turned them over when Jemima was not there. Tomorrow I will bring a bag of corn, Jemima said, so that I need never leave my nest again until the eggs are hatched. They might catch cold. Madame, I beg you not to trouble yourself. I will provide oats. But before you begin your tiresome sitting, let's have a dinner party all to ourselves. Oh, that would be wonderful, Miss Puddle-Duck exclaimed. What should I bring? Bring sage, thyme, mint, 2 onions, and some parsley, said the gentleman. We will make a tasty omelet. Poor Miss Jemima Puddle-Duck. Not even the mention of an omelet made her suspicious. She quickly flew back to the farm to find the items the gentleman had requested. Jemima went around the garden at the hilltop farm, gathering the herbs. Silly Jemima, she didn't realize that these are the very herbs used to stuff a roast duck. Then she waddled into the kitchen and got 2 onions out of a basket. The Cowley dog met with Jemima Puddle-Duck coming out of the kitchen. What are you doing with those onions? He asked. Where do you go every afternoon, Miss Puddle-Duck? Jemima admired the Cowley very much, so she told him the whole story. The Cowley listened with his wise head bent to one side. He grinned when she described the polite gentleman with the red bushy tail. Kep asked her several questions about the exact location of the shed in the woods. Now I must hurry back for my dinner party. The polite gentleman will be waiting, said Jemima. Yes, he surely will, said Kep. He bade her farewell. Then the Cowley ran quickly to the village. He asked some foxhounds to help him save Jemima Puddle-Duck from a horrible fate. Jemima Puddle-Duck went up the road for the last time on that sunny afternoon. She flew over the woods and landed opposite the bushy-tailed gentleman. He was sitting on a log, sniffing the air and glancing around uneasily. When Jemima landed, he jumped up, startled. Give me the herbs for the omelet. Go into the shed. Be quick about it, the gentleman ordered. Jemima Puddle-Duck had never heard him speak that way before. His words surprised her and made her feel uncomfortable and scared. Jemima went inside the shed, and as soon as she walked in, the door locked behind her. Once outside, she heard the most awful noises from the outside. There were dogs barking, growling, and howling. Jemima was greatly alarmed. A few moments later, Kep opened the door of the shed to let Jemima Puddle-Duck out. She looked around but could not see the polite gentleman anywhere. In fact, nothing was ever seen of that gentleman again. Kep and the other dogs had chased the fox far away. Kep escorted Jemima Puddle-Duck back home to the farm. She carried her eggs very carefully in the herb bag. Jemima hatched 9 beautiful ducklings and never left the farm again. And what a wonderful sight it is to see a proud mother duck with her very own ducklings. The end.